Hello, James here. I've had some questions regarding how I make my poppers. You know, you can buy them or you can make them. If you want to buy them, I'll happily sell you one, but if you want to learn how to make them, I'll show you how I do it. It's pretty simple. I'd like to thank Bernie over at EM Brand Whips. He's the one who kind of started me making poppers, and then I've kind of developed my own style. But anyway, for those of you who've purchased my poppers or those of you who've seen my poppers, I use blue nylon upholstery thread. I bought it online. It's like $14 for a gigantic spool, which I will probably never finish using. It was a pretty good price. But, yeah, I just take the thread. My standard, a couple of things. For starters, you need a place to tie him. He uses a nail in his workbench. I put a hook into what was my mother's table. Don't tell her that. But now it's my table, and I can do with it as I please. So, I put a hook into it, and I do a lot of my popper making over here. For those of you who've ordered my poppers, this is where the magic happens. Anyway, basically, I use a standard measurement, and it's the width of my, the width of my arm span, basically. If I were to have it on the spool, I take it, and I do 1, and I do 2. This is for what I'm going to make is one of my 13-inch, Typhoon Mark 1 poppers. I heard a rumor a long time ago that Anthony DeLongis uses a 13-inch popper, and since I couldn't find one commercially, I figured I'd make one. So, take it, do your 2 arm lengths. Alright? This is for a heavyweight. My heavyweights are 8 strands, my medium weights are 4 strands, and I actually have a 2-strand that I do. There's a whip maker out there by the name of Royce Viejo. He took some time with me, and I appreciate that, Royce. And what he does is he uses a really light popper, so I also do a 2-strand. This is for a roughly a 13-inch heavyweight, that's 8-strand popper for, well, what's actually going to be the Maxwell special, because I took the popper off that and put it somewhere else. Anyway, so I've got my length. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to double it, match the ends together, like that, and I'm going to stretch it out so that it's even, and then from there I'm going to put it over my hook, like so. This gives me 4 strands to start. Of course, when I double it, it becomes 8 strands. So that's how I get my heavyweight. So I take that, and I pull it tight. Grab my pen. Move over a little bit here. Grab my pen. Insert it. Start twisting it. I like to get a really tight twist on this. And I just sit here and I twist it. Normally I'll twist until I think it's tight, and then I'll twist a little bit more. Even it out. Take your fingers, run it along the length of it as you're twisting it. Now the really nice thing about twisting this is once, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, is once I get it to this point I can simply pinch it, twist it in the opposite direction, and my pen will come off. Now I'm right-handed, so what I'll normally do is I'll actually switch hands holding it, so my right hand can do the pinch in the middle. When you're working with a popper of this length, again this is going to be 13 inches, it's very careful that you get everything to line up very appropriately, I don't know. You get it lined up right when you do it. So, take my right hand, I pinch it roughly in the middle, and I've got to remember to keep it taut, otherwise it will pre-spin on me. I'm trying to find out which way it wants to twist, get it started twisting that way, then I take my fingers again and I pull it along the length. From there, I keep it on the hook, get a nice bit of fluff there at the end, and knot it. Pull it tight. From here, forgot. From here, I get a knife, and I will have loops. Cut the loops. 1, 2, and 3 loops. And depending on, you might get longer fluff. If If you want to clean it up at this point, you can. I normally don't. I'll have a section that's longer than the other one. And there you have a 13.5-inch Typhoon Mark 1 Blue Thunder Pop. That's how you make poppers. I hope you can find this tutorial of some use. But like I said, if you want, I'll sell them to you too. It's no skin off my teeth, but it might be a little skin off of yours. So, in the meantime, practice. Stay safe.